Namaste. Jai Guru. I'm so excited to see women and men from different sectors connecting with spirituality. Today, I'm going to share with you story of Nepali women, their passion for legal changes. As a corporate lawyer, time to time, I wanted to do pro bono in accessing justice for Nepali women, but I could never do that because law was barrier for justice. Law was discriminatory. One of the study conducted at that time found 118 different legal provision in 56 different legislation directly discriminating against women. Women had no right in the areas of inheritance. Discrimination existed in marriage, in divorce, in employment, in citizenship, and different forms of violence against women were not even recognized as an offense. As a result, we could see a huge disparity and disadvantaged position of women. Women were homemakers, but women were holding only 5.6% of houses. Only 4% women in the parliament. An exception to the world. Women had lesser life expectancy in Nepal than men. Out of 100 victims of violence, 75% women said they will not even use access to justice. And the reason they gave is, one, they said law is discriminatory. Second, they said the whole access to justice process stigmatizes further them, and therefore they were reluctant to use the law even in the court. Listening their stories, research shared, that invoked me a sense of empathy, a realization of reality of Nepalese women who were facing every day due to the law. Compassion towards them created passion within me, a passion for equality, passion for justice that inspired me to give up my corporate law practice, and I became a public interest lawyer. And then my focus was on law reform. Law is critical. It creates accountability among the duty holder. Therefore, we said, first, we need to reform the law. We need to correct the law. Many groups, many social leaders, many political leaders, they were also trying to change the law. But things were not changing. But then what we did, a group of women lawyers came together and we used public interest litigation with evidence-based research, with victim voices, and strategic tool. Passion does not come or form overnight. It is a gradual process of progressive self-realization accompanied by life experiences and learning that comes from compassion. However, it is not enough that you merely recognize your passion and do nothing about it. Passion is more than a spiritual finding. It is a commitment. It is an action. In the very first of our case, which we challenged in the court, that was an inheritance right, the court issued a directive to the parliament to introduce a bill in the parliament. It took 7 years to pass the bill. You have to have a patience. And passion is not what you invoke occasionally. It is a continuous engagement. While working for reforming the law, you also need to know who are your adversaries. State, culture, religion, everyone can stand against you when you work in reforming laws related to women. And one needs to be very strategic. On dealing with these powerful institutions who are part of your life, however, in this process, instead of we attacking to our adversaries, we always try to internalize the issues and bring empathy among them, engaging with them, and that was very helpful. You also need to expand your allies, the group of those who have a similar mind and similar intention, so that we can act upon them. And we found many men as a great allies. Some of them were more passionate on the cause than us. In our first case, we were 3 women lawyers, but 70 male lawyers came together to stand with us in the Supreme Court. And when you are carrying any movement, it's not easy. Time to time, you can be divided. We were divided when the bill was tabled in the parliament, as some discrimination still existed in some of the provision. But some of us stood up and we said, rights have no border. Movement has no end. We will have to continue our movement for the remaining discrimination. And what helped us to move further and build the consensus at that time was purpose. The purpose which Madam Kiran Bedi was talking about. Purpose for the movement was against discrimination, for equality. And only mode and time to achieve was little different. So it is important that purpose of your passion is clear and also communicated clearly. Your passion also has to be tested time to time, because we need to ensure that if it is bringing positivity in the society, passion should not be selfish. It should not be also converted into obsession. It has to be healthy, constructive, and for the good cause. The most difficult time in our passion for change was when we worked to recognize rape in marriage. The court said, rape is rape, no matter who is rapist. Even a husband cannot get exempted if it's a forceful and non-consensual. There was a huge opposition from various groups who always expected women to be the property of men, to be always submissive, make others happy without thinking of our own happiness. We were criticized for being against marriage institution. I have a family. Being a social destructor. Criticism went on, and they even said, women like them should be shot. It still did not hurt us, but they said women like us to be raped. And that time we realized one does not even have to be physically raped, even by saying they can emotionally rape us. You go through so much trauma, we had to heal ourselves. Finally, we decided to communicate with the media what we have been going through. So you have to also extend, I said, our allies, and the way media covered our story. Now people think twice even before making any criticism against us. To heal ourselves, we need to realize such criticism is not personal. Brought dispassion on the criticism with continued passion for the cause. Having shared our story today, we Nepalese women are proud to say our passion has helped to save the law. But passion has not ended yet. We are still confronting in the realization of the law in the life of women. And in this juncture, we need more passionate groups to work on identifying barriers, internal barriers, external barriers. We need to identify who are the responsible agencies and where the location where obstacle exists. We need to work with more calmly, as Guruji says, more calmly, peacefully, skillfully developing the strategy for effective implementation of the law and changing the stereotype mindset. We need to realize that all human beings, no matter what sex, what gender, we cannot have stereotyped expectations just because we are women. We have to be loud and clear, women are equal, but we are different. And our difference is not our weakness, it is our strength, and in the circle of life, we have a different reproductive functioning, and it is a functioning to create the world, to continue the world. But we also have a different experience of injustice. Denial of right has a disproportionate effect on women. Such experience has to be addressed by the society, by the state. And today I'm very proud to share Nepali law has completely changed. Constitution recognizes reproductive health right as a fundamental right. The discrimination is not only prohibited on the basis of sex, but it says discrimination is prohibited on the basis of marital status, pregnancy, and health status. Proportional representation is ensured within the constitutional structure. Women now can inherit as equal as a son. And the Constitution also has a provision that calls for sharing the responsibility inside the house in taking care of child and in taking care of household work. And we also have a provision that says recognize women's contribution inside the house as a gross domestic income. And at present, President of Nepal is woman. Until recently, we had our Chief Justice women, Speaker women. We have 33% women in the parliament, 40% in the local government, and 99% judicial committee at the local level, which is a new structure of judiciary, is headed by women. And now, women, homemaker, they hold 35% property in their name. You need passion, you need law, but positive and constructive law. You need compassion to put law in place and translate the law in the life of people so that maximum happiness can be ensured. This is an exceptional moment for me to be in such a great panel with women of the world. I want to call each of you, all men and women, from different folk of life to bring out our profession, spirituality, and stand against discrimination for equality, for justice. Bhanumati ji, Gurudev ji, all the organizer committee, I really want to thank you from bottom of my heart. This is my first trip, although I was invited by Madam Kedia 7 years back, but this time I could make it. I came directly from the court, from the bench. I was in a warm woolen sari with woolen blouse and also coat on me, but I did not feel any hot. I rather felt so stress-free the moment I entered here. And with the warm hospitality I have, I'm hoping I will be rejuvenated and my passion for justice will continue. Thank you for inviting me.